When I was 4, I was diagnosed with myocarditis, and they treated that for 11 months. Didn't address the arrhythmia because that wasn't something they did yet. When I was 19 years old, I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy and ventricular tachycardia, which they treated with pacemakers and medication for approximately 10 years. And then as of February last year, I needed my first LVAD. I had failed the stress test, passed out on the treadmill, woke up in the hospital bed, not feeling well, didn't have circulation, and they told me I needed the heart mate. I didn't know about the LVAD until a day or two before I had it. I got to meet a couple of patients that had the LVAD, and they were both a lot older than me, so I knew that if they could do it, I should be able to do it. The greatest thing for me to see was that there was a woman walking around with a walker in the hospital, and I could not catch up to her to ask her about her LVAD. I went from always being cold to being hot all the time because I had circulation now, the blood was actually pumping. But I did get a second LVAD in May of that year, May 17th of that year. My blood had clotted the pump and it was shredding the cells, so I wasn't getting any blood through my system because it wasn't circulating it anymore. And they kept me in the hospital for just about a week. And the day that they were going to send me home, I said I didn't feel well and I just didn't want to end up having to come back, so they let me stay one more night, and that night I got the call that they had a heart for me. Pre-LVAD, it took me 5 years to graduate from college. I was told that a trip from one end of campus to the other should take about 10 minutes. My dorm room was in the middle of campus, and it would take me at least 15 minutes to get anywhere. I could go a few steps and then I'd have to stop. I ended up with a handicap pass, parking pass, because it could take 2 hours for me to get from my car to my dorm. And normal living for me was going to class and then coming home and laying down because I needed a nap. I was done. Friends would go out to dinner and a movie, and I could do one or the other, but I just didn't have the energy to do both. And it wasn't until I met the cardiologists at the med center that I was being told, okay, really, you know, people do both. After the LVAD, I had a lot more energy. I felt like I could go on a vacation. I felt like I had the circulation again. I wasn't cold anymore. And I did have more energy than I'd had before that. The big question that they asked me pre-transplant was, why did I deserve a heart? And my answer was that I wasn't done yet. I had stuff to do. I wasn't married, didn't have my own home. I don't have a job yet, and I wasn't done living. I always had great trust in the med center. My cardiologist there, I have a standing relationship with her of 10 years. And the surgeon, I have the same trust in him. Whatever he said went, because I knew that they were both qualified in their field. I know that they know the most about it that I can find, and I wouldn't go to another hospital now if I needed to.